Greetings and salutations, everybody. I'm Andrew from Team Respawn. This is the Halo MCC development update for April 2019. If you're new to the channel, I like to follow the update development life cycle of the MCC all the way back to when they were doing rumors and such about MCC coming to PC. This is a huge update. It was absolutely massive. It's going to probably be a pretty long video. If you want to follow along what I'm going to break down, I'm not going to break it down word for word, but pretty much the high points of this. Link to it's in the description down below. So they're starting off talking about how they're thanking the community again for the overwhelming support following the announcement of both the MCC on PC and Halo Reach coming to the MCC on both Xbox One and the PC. So this is their first update since announcing that, and if you're not familiar with what happened, is a lot of people in the community started sending pizzas to 343. So they're talking about how they had pizzas for weeks, and then they just said that they had way too many pizzas, is pretty much what they're saying. So they're going to announce a Xbox Insider program. A lot of you have already signed up. So the way that works is it's a Halo Insider program is its official name, and I believe it's Xbox Insider program on, or maybe it's the MCC Insider program now that I think of it. Anyway, they're doing Insider programs for Reach for the PC and the Xbox One, so essentially you get to try it out before a lot of the other people do. And the reason for this is you're essentially being a beta tester more or less to determine if the game's working a lot, if it's working well, if it's designed, and you're to give feedback to 343. So they want to tell you that they're splitting 343 into different teams, and this is pretty standard for game studios and other tech companies. Is they don't usually work on the same exact thing constantly. They have different teams that work on different products, so they want to let you know that while they have people working very hard on the MCC, the most of the studio at 343 is actually working on Halo Infinite. So that's pretty cool. So then it goes on to say the 343 publishing team, this is the team who's working on MCC and Halo Wars 2, says that they've been working day in and day out with the promise of continuously improving MCC since last year. In parallel, the team has been hard at work on the ambitious plans to eventually bring all this content to PC players. There's already been a lot of great progress made, particularly with Halo Reach, which is up and running and looks fantastic on both the Xbox One and the PC. I cannot tell you, as a Halo fan, how stoked I am for this collection to have Halo Reach added to it. It doesn't particularly make a whole lot of sense because it doesn't really have anything really related to the Master Chief, but I do think that having one definitive collection with all the main FPS Halo games is a great idea, and it's really going to be the standard now for fans who, new and old, just want to play Halo multiplayer. And if it's your first time getting into Halo, this is the easiest and best way to get introduced to that sort of thing. So that's my opinions and thoughts there. And I really do believe that the next Xbox will have to support Xbox One games just because they've been so backwards compatible heavy. So therefore, that makes my assumption that the MCC will be on the next box, whatever it's called, and it will have a thriving multiplayer for really until they shut this down, is going to be my guess. So the next section is that they're working very closely with the studio Splash Damage, and they're knee-deep in the code for the Master Chief Collection. Their mission is to bring the MCC to life to a true PC native experience by adding in the features, bells, and whistles PC gamers expect. They know that it's not a straight port, doesn't cut it. The MCC needs to be authentic to Halo and the PC platform. So it's really cool that they're not just crapping out something that's going to be a port of the Master Chief Collection over to PC. They're saying it's not just a copy and paste. And that's true, it's not. It's going to be a very complicated project. They're talking about some of the code, actually, and they actually show screenshots of the code, which is really, really cool. And they're telling you if anything has surprised you. and they were saying, just how awesome 20-year-old code is still really important to the game. I mean, which is true. They have some questions like what's the most challenging aspect of bringing the MCC to PC, and they're saying that it's really complicated. So there's over 7 terabytes of data. There are multiple game engines, non-Halo specific engines with their own differing programming styles and contributions by different dev teams over the years. I mean, think about it. This is all of Bungie's stuff, everything Bungie's worked on. So you have all of those people, and I can pretty much guarantee their code has evolved and changed between Halo 1, which is what they started with, and Halo Reach, which is what they ended with. And they have different engines and things of that sort, and different teams worked on different codes and stuff like that. And then you have what 343 did, which I bet is entirely different of a code base to what Bungie did, and they're trying to bring all of that to the PC. It's very complicated, really. People think it's easy, and it's not. What's your priority focus? It says right now is getting the input system feeling right. There's a lot of components to a good first-person shooter on PC, including remappable controls, minimal input latency, device support, and more blah blah blah. It sounds really awesome, actually. You should really look into this interview. They're saying, what's next for deliverables or milestones, and they're saying this is really cool, actually. I looked this over the first time, and then when I read it back, I'm like, this is so epic. I don't know why they're not talking about this more. It says, looking ahead, one of our new features we're delivering is a progression system for the Master Chief Collection. Initially, it will be straightforward and familiar system that allow players to track their Halo gameplay experience and unlock rewards. Our plan for progression is much wider, and we have a few things up our sleeve that we hope will really engage the whole Halo community. Now, this sounds awesome. I really love that this is a thing that they're doing, because I've suggested this for years, and I'm not saying it's my idea or anything, but I'm just glad that they're doing it. And I don't know what they're going to have for unlockables. I don't know if it's going to be weapon skins. I don't know if it's going to be more nameplates. I don't know if it's going to be new armor pieces or animations. I don't really know what they can offer and not be it microtransaction-y, if that makes sense. I think the best way that this has been implemented in a Halo game is what Bungie did with Halo Reach. That had a currency system that you could buy stuff with, but there's no way to give Bungie real money for that currency, if that makes sense. So if they have some sort of a progression system that does that sort of a thing with challenges, just like Reach did, maybe enhance it and make it better, I think that would be awesome. Because that had like weekly challenges and monthly challenges and stuff. I think a lot of people would really be into that sort of a thing. It has a picture of the dudes who are working on it, and it's really crazy how just like 30 or 40 or 50 people can make such a monumental gaming shift. So that's pretty cool. They also said they have another partner, Rufian, who is hard at work at bringing Halo Reach to the MCC on Xbox One, so those are the dudes doing that. They don't really have a whole lot for those. They're talking about the pillars next on Halo PC. Really some of the stuff you would expect, like controls being really awesome, updating the UI to look familiar, FOV sliders, text chat, game options, range of aspect ratio support, G-Sync, FreeSync stuff, high refresh rate, loading optimizations. They have like this really cool settings thing that they're working on. And there's actually a picture of it if you want to see it. It's pretty cool. There's a lot of stuff that you can mess with if you're into that sort of a thing. And also they're saying that they want to keep in mind of the legacy of the MCC, that they don't want to screw anything up that's already awesome, but also make it to where it feels new and fresh at the same time. So that's the stuff on Halo on PC. They did say in here that they want to make a snappier UI that will work both for PC and Xbox people. And they also said somewhere in here, I may have already scrolled over it, but they want to make it feel like controller and mouse and keyboard people on MCC on PC feel equal. Oh, here it is right here. I'm looking right at it. There will naturally be some differences in feel and expectations for different input methods, such as strength of aim. Whenever we have tested a Halo PC title with any audience using a mouse and keyboard, the expectation is that aim magnetism is disabled, but on controller, the opposite is true. So they're just saying they need to keep that in mind. So they're talking about engaging and involving pillars, like all these different pillars of Halo on PC. It says our engagement pillar encompasses our journey to evolve the MCC over time. Because we're updating older games, adding an FOV slider will naturally have some limitations to the range that is possible in the short term. In the longer term, we may be able to include a wider range of values. Making the UI for MCC more flexible will take some time, but we will prioritize the areas that impact the core user experience before moving into less frequently visited areas. So that makes sense. Our goal is to, it says our engagement pillar also encompasses an all-new progression system. Our goal is to deliver a system that captures the spirit of progression, I called it, in Halo Reach, but delivers it in a more modern way. Think leveling, seasons, and unlocks. More details will be coming in a future blog. That sounds really awesome. I'm really glad that they're doing exactly what I thought was awesome. So be on the lookout for that. I think that's the best way to do it, and I'm really excited for that. I bet it'll keep a lot of people engaged and really grinding for Halo again, just like you stayed up to 4 a.m. playing Reach to get, butterflies on your Spartan armor or whatever, like you did in 2010. They're talking about postums here. He has a little bit of a thing to say. He's saying he's trying to get feedback from everyone across Twitter, YouTube, Discord servers, blah, blah, blah. Let's see here. What does he say? He's announcing a thing, but I don't know if he said anything that I want to read. The community team knew my efforts would never scale from living on Waypoint, Twitter, Reddit, and in a certain number of Discord servers. Sketch and other 343 people reached out to other Xbox studios around the world to talk about what they're doing and what best practices they have found for collecting feedback on creating a full-on customer suite to support their games. After listening and using different tools, we believe we have identified a new tool for the community to create a more efficient, scalable solution for players to share their feedback with our teams and get more information in return to further improving their game experiences. After many months of planning and years of preparation, we're happy to announce a brand new Halo support website. That's a thing, a Halo support website. So it says, we have built an entirely new support page that will eventually replace our Halo Waypoint support forums for specific titles. I'm really not entirely sure how I feel about this, to be honest with you. The goal of this is to allow an all-inclusive place for players to share high volumes of feedback, submitted streamlined tickets around technical issues, informative articles, things of that sort. I just don't get it, is what I'm trying to say. Is I don't know why every time 343 wants to make something to engage with the community, they have to make a new thing to engage with the community, right? So it started out with Halo Waypoint at the forums on a site, which was awesome. It was cool. And then Halo Waypoint came to Xbox 360, and they're like, this is the place on 360 to get Halo content as an app on the 360. And then when the Xbox One came out, they're like, okay, we're not even going to bring Halo Waypoint, the app, to Xbox One. It's going to be called the Halo Channel. And like that thing was just so awful. And so now, then they're like, okay, here we have the official Halo Discord server. And so then there's that. And now we have this Halo support site thing. I'm just really confused because they don't get rid of the thing that they made when they make the next step. So now we have all this cluttered crap to submit feedback for Halo. And maybe I just don't understand it, but I don't get it, is what I'm trying to say. They're talking about Halo Insider next. This is the thing where you can play Halo on the PC earlier than people can in IRL. They're saying that they have a lot of people on standby, which is probably you and me, ready to jump into a public flight, which is what they call these things, and help us deliver experiences on PC and Xbox. The bad news is that it's not ready yet. They said it would be ready in April, and it's not. They've made great progress, but there's still a number of items to work through before we feel like we're ready for the first flight. They're obviously work in progress stuff, blah, blah, blah. It's just not ready yet, and I really don't want people to rage about that because this sort of a thing is so massive, it shouldn't be rushed. So when it's ready kind of a thing. Be on the lookout. Everyone will lose their mind on Twitter when it comes out, so just keep an eye out on Twitter. Um, Closing time. They're just saying this thing was really big. That's kind of it. So there you have it. That is the speedy breakdown of the Halo MCC development update for April 2019. I bet you the next blog post thing will include a public flight that you can try out on PC and perhaps Xbox One. The way it worked last time was when they were fixing the MCC and you had it on Xbox One. And you're able to try it. You were not allowed to stream it, but that kind of went out the window because everyone started streaming it. So maybe we'll be able to stream this build. If we can, I will, of course, do so. So stay in the loop if you want to find out where and when I'm streaming. The best place to do it is our Discord server down below or Twitter. I do that as well. And we will be covering more of the Halo update stuff. Thanks for watching. I'm Andrew from Team Respawn, and I'll see you next time.